No, I did not just put my finger in an electric socket, I just wet my hair down and just made my hair messy, and I actually like it looking messy. So yesterday was the quote-unquote 10th anniversary of 9/11. Don't you think it's weird that they classify it as an anniversary? Because usually anniversary has a positive connotation that goes along with it. You know, your mom and husband, your family's 10th anniversary of being married, 50th anniversary, Star Wars 25th anniversary. You know, these are things that you are happy that they've lasted this long. However, I don't really understand why 9/11. A lot of people like to associate calling it the 10th anniversary of 9/11. When I hear anniversary, I think of something happy, and 9/11 isn't a happy thing, so I've never understood why they call it that. But I don't want to talk about the word anniversary, because that's not what this video is about. Now, I realize that I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this video, and to be honest, I'm prepared for it, and I'm perfectly fine by it. I want to make it clear, though, that it is sad, and it was a tragic event what happened on 9/11. However, I'll be the first to admit that 9/11 didn't affect me at all. I'm really sick and tired of seeing people post videos all on 9/11 saying how 9/11 affected me this way, 9/11 affected me that way, I was 10 years old when 9/11 happened and it broke my heart. I'm sorry, but when 9/11 happened, I wasn't even at the proper age to comprehend what a terrorist attack was. I mean, yes, I remember my family sitting around the television and being shocked with these horrific facial expressions like this, but I didn't really comprehend the whole terrorist attack thing. So I can honestly say it didn't affect me, and even now, it still hasn't really affected me. But I'm tired of people using 9/11 as this massive, event which changed the world history. I mean, yes, innocent lives were taken, but to go all crazy with your American flags and wave it around to make yourself feel better really doesn't change anything. I mean, to be brutally honest, it kind of disgusts me how many Americans act when certain events occur, or even celebration of certain events. I mean, for example, when Osama bin Laden was killed, I made a video about this when it happened, hundreds and thousands of Americans ran to the White House, grabbed their flags, and basically rejoiced over this man being killed. And while, yes, he did horrific things, but I don't think it was right for us Americans, us prideful, arrogant Americans to rejoice over this man's death and act like pigs, because that is what we did. We stood outside the White House and screamed, "Na na 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 na, we killed Osama, look at us." It just sickens me that we, the American people, in fact, I don't even like saying we, because I have to associate myself with we. We, the American people, act this way. But I'm just sick of all the 9/11 talk, and how especially we act and, oh, 3,000 people died, this was one of the greatest horrific events in world history. In fact, to prove my point further, Rihanna posted on her Twitter, and I quote, "Today has marked 10 years since one of the most devastating events the world has ever seen. Let's remember those we lost and pray for their loved ones." The problem I have with her little tweet here is that she says, "Today marks the 10 years since one of the most devastating events in world history." And I had to laugh when I had to laugh when I read this Twitter status, because so many Americans have this mentality. 9/11 is the most biggest worldwide event, tragic event ever. People need to stop elevating 9/11 and look at real issues that we face day to day, like people starving in other countries. Thousands of people in Africa die of AIDS. There's a massive human sex trafficking even in America and other countries. And just a few months ago, another country had a massive tsunami. That tsunami event was much larger than 9/11. Yet so many arrogant Americans seem to make 9/11 as this great event, and we should mourn of what happened. Let's wave our flag and present nationalism. I mean, really? Really? Like I said, stop replacing 9/11 as this most tragic event in world history. But moving off that topic, one of the things I dislike about 9/11 is the fact that the media and people of power exploit 9/11 and get money for themselves. Even more so than that, how the media portrays anyone who is associated or anyone who wears a turban or anyone who is a Muslim. The media to this day likes to stereotype Muslims. So if you see a Muslim, that could be a temporary threat to your life. But even more than the stupid media of America are many, and I stress the word many, atheists and Christians, it's not just atheists, but many atheists on YouTube who have this disgusting, repulsive mentality that anyone who is a Muslim is therefore a radical Muslim who wants to commit jihad and blow our head off. One of these atheists happens to be known as the great and wonderful, sarcasm in my voice there, great and wonderful Thunderfoot. And it really begins just to sicken me how these atheists and Christians and people can stereotype and generalize an entire group of thousands upon thousands of people and all call them radical Muslims. That's just pathetic. You are in fact pathetic if you even think that. I have talked and conversed with many Muslims in real life and over the internet who are very kind, loving people who do not support the radical beliefs and radical Muslims who practice jihad. Yet the media and certain atheists like to hold on to this generalization and stereotypes that every Muslim you see, if they have a turban, they are therefore a threat or they're a radical Muslim who wants to blow you, the American people's head off. I mean, yes, everybody stereotypes to an extent. Everybody sometimes makes generalizations. But to say publicly on blog TV or a YouTube video or even have the media stereotype large groups of people who pertain to a certain religion as all the same is in fact absurd. Now down below in the crotch bar, I have 4 videos linked. The first video is going to be on stereotyping Muslims. It's not an incredibly long video, but I highly recommend you watch this video as it is extremely educational and helps understand a little bit on how the media in America portrays the Western culture. The second video is known as Orientalism, which I also highly recommend you watch. In fact, the videos that I'm linking down below, only 4 videos, I highly recommend you watch these because they're very educational, and one of the videos is actually of Thunderfoot on Blog TV, where he kind of basically admits that and talks about Muslims, and he thinks all Muslims are terrorists, and yada yada yada. The fourth video I have linked down in the description is by the YouTube user known as Liberty Chick Live. She posted a video actually today, which I really liked, titled, "Why Do People Say America is Arrogant?" It's only a 4-minute video, so I also recommend you watch that. The main gist of this video is I just wanted to talk about how I really cannot stand when we Americans replace bigger, more important events and replace 9/11 over top of that and prioritize a very small event in the United States. And I consider 9/11 a small event compared to other things such as the tsunami, and how we use 9/11 and use it as this gigantic event, and then the media and people exploit it to make it even more popular, and everybody grabs their flags, wave it around, cry and cry and cry and cry. It's almost as if you're holding on to a past relationship or a past painful experience and you just won't let it go. Every year you gotta bring it up, and then you have the media and people who exploit the event. You have the whole stereotyping all Muslims as radical Islamists. It really just starts to piss me off. Before I end this video, I would like to recommend a specific YouTuber to subscribe to. This YouTuber is known as Dawa Films, and this user is a Muslim. He is a very intelligent Muslim. He knows a lot about Islam, more than most people I've talked to on YouTube. And I really recommend that you subscribe to him. He creates a lot of interesting and well thought out material regarding philosophy, atheism, etc. And Dawa Films, also known as Ali, has experienced the stereotype and personal attacks and generalizations from people on YouTube, specifically by the user Thunderfoot. So please, if you're watching this video, check out Dawa Films. His channel is right up in this corner, and he's also down in the description if you want to go there to subscribe to him. So with that said, ladies and gents, I'm Daniel Sulzbach, also known as Mr. Repzion. Peace the rep out. Try to eliminate your stereotypes you make on a day-to-day basis.